What's my quorum? What's a quorum number? 32? We're starting to get more people coming in. We don't have a quorum. Did that get us? Okay, I think we're pretty good now. All right. We're at that order of business of signing enrolled acts. The first enrolled act for our consideration is House Enrolled Act number 91. The reading clerk will read the enrolled act.
House Enrolled Act number 91, being original House Bill 195, an act relating to emergency expenses of government, providing definitions, providing appropriations, amending and repealing prior appropriations of COVID-19 relief funds, specifying conditions on the appropriation and the expenditure of COVID-19 relief funds, amending prior conditions on the reduction and prioritization of COVID-19 relief funds, providing for the reversion of unexpended funds, authorizing emergency government programs, authorizing rulemaking, requiring reporting, specifying applicability, providing for priority of appropriations, and providing for an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I'm about to sign House Enrolled Act number 91, being original House Bill number 195. I have so signed. The next enrolled act for our consideration is House Enrolled Act number 92. The reading clerk will read the enrolled act.
House Enrolled Act number 92, being original House Bill 93, an act relating to water development projects, authorizing construction of designated water projects, describing projects, specifying terms and conditions of funding for projects, providing grants, providing appropriations, amending the sponsor's contingency fund, amending amounts and terms of appropriations for specified prior projects, transferring funds from Water Development Account 1 to Water Development Account 2, transferring funds from the General Fund to Water Development Account 3, clarifying fund limits to the Emergency Water Projects account, repealing obsolete provisions, and providing for an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I am about to sign House Enrolled Act number 92, being original House Bill number 93. I have so signed. The next enrolled act for our consideration is House Enrolled Act number 93. The reading clerk will read the enrolled act.
House Enrolled Act number 93, being original House Bill 76, an act relating to professions and occupations, removing requirement that examination for cosmetology and related licensure to be conducted by the State Board of Cosmetology, reducing the number of practice years required for a license to practice veterinarian medicine without an examination, and providing for an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I am about to sign House Enrolled Act number 93, being original House Bill number 76. I have so signed. Congratulations, Representatives Wanitzer Dan. The next enrolled act for our consideration is House Enrolled Act number 94. The reading clerk will read the enrolled act.
House Enrolled Act number 94, being original House Bill 33, an act relating to school finance, establishing competitive grants for public schools to purchase career and technical education supplies, materials, and equipment, requiring rulemaking, requiring reporting, making conforming amendments, appropriating funds, and providing for an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I'm about to sign House Enrolled Act number 94, being original House Bill number 33. I have so signed. The next enrolled act for our consideration is House Enrolled Act number 95. The reading clerk will read the enrolled act.
House Enrolled Act number 95, being original House Bill 64, An act relating to public funds, amending or eliminating unnecessary or obsolete borrowing authority or guarantees from the legislative stabilization reserve account as specified, repealing interfund loan authority for the unemployment compensation fund, repealing borrowing authority for the Department of Administration and information for purposes of school districts joining the state employees and officials group insurance plan, amending the source and amount of loans for the Department of Transportation as specified, making conforming amendments, and providing for an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I am about to sign House Enrolled Act number 95, being original House Bill number 64. I have so signed. The next enrolled act for our consideration is Senate Enrolled Act number 97. The reading clerk will read the enrolled act.
Senate Enrolled Act number 97, being original Senate File 96, an act relating to water development projects, authorizing specified Level 1 and Level 2 studies, providing appropriations, requiring reports, providing for the reversion of unexpended funds, authorizing unobligated funds to be used to complete other designated projects as specified, extending reversions and study dates, authorizing a position, and providing an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I am about to sign Senate Enrolled Act number 97, being original Senate File number 96. I have so signed. The next enrolled act for our consideration is Senate Enrolled Act number 98. The reading clerk will read the enrolled act.
Senate Enrolled Act number 98, being original Senate File 42, an act relating to tobacco taxes, providing that the tax on a cigar, snuff, and other tobacco products are due following the sale of the cigar, and providing for an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I am about to sign Senate Enrolled Act number 98, being original Senate File number 42. I have so signed. Messages from the Senate.
Message number 493, Mr. Speaker, House Bill 93, Omnibus Water Bill Construction. The Senate adopted the Joint Conference Committee number 1 report on the bill listed above by the vote indicated. Ayes 27, noes 4. Message 494, Mr. Speaker, House Bill 76, Licensing Board Amendments. The Senate adopted the Joint Conference Committee number 1 report on the bill listed above by the vote indicated. Ayes 26, noes 1, excused 4. Message 495, Mr. Speaker, House Bill 64, Legislative Stabilization Reserve Account Obligations. The Senate adopted the Joint Conference Committee number 1 report on the bill listed above by the vote indicated. Ayes 25, excused 6. Sincerely, Ellen Thompson, Senate Chief Clerk.
Anything else, Chief? Are we done with everything but the governor or not? Okay. Stand at ease for just a little bit. We'll see what goes on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to stand at ease. The governor will be going to the Senate first. I've been assured that the speeches will be short, and then he'll be here. And Majority Whip, can you come to the front, please? The House will please come to order. Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that bills currently pending before this body in the 67th Wyoming State Legislature 2023 General Session be indefinitely postponed.
Mr. Minority Floor Leader.
I second that motion.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The motion is passed the House. Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Senate be informed that the House of Representatives of the 67th Wyoming State Legislature General Session is ready to adjourn.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. I'm directing the House Chief Clerk, Katie Talbot, to inform the Senate that the House of Representatives General Session of the 67th Wyoming State Legislature is ready to adjourn. Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that a committee of two be appointed to inform the governor that the House is ready to adjourn and to escort His Excellency the Governor to the House.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The motion carries. Representatives Nyman and Representatives Yin, please inform the governor that the House of Representatives is ready to adjourn. Please escort His Excellency, the Governor Mark Gordon, to the House chamber. The House of Representatives will stand at ease until the sound of the gavel. It's getting close, folks. The House will please come to order. Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my pleasure to announce His Excellency, the Governor for the great state of Wyoming, Mark Gordon.
Hey, hey!
Thank you.
Governor Gordon, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, members of the House. What an honor it is to be here today, and to thank you for what I think generally has been a very good session. I wanted to tell you a couple of things. Congratulations on putting aside $1.4 billion. Thank you for doing that. And if you're like me, you've heard a lot of why didn't we spend that today? Why aren't we doing more with that today? And I think every member of this House understands that today we have a lot of money coming in for a lot of circumstances. That has not always been the case for Wyoming. And I think your prudence and your thoughtfulness about how to run that budget will demonstrate itself in the years to come. Every citizen of Wyoming should be thankful for the work you have done on the budget. Please give yourselves a hand. Representative Alamand, I heard your call for more help, because across Wyoming, whether it be in Evanston, whether it be in the Red Desert, whether it be in the eastern part of the state, this is a winter. This is a winter like I remember when I was a kid. This is a winter when our own D6 CAT has been deployed on more opportunities than I would like to have seen. And we do feel the pressure and the need. I just got off the phone moments ago with FEMA, the Federal Energy Management Administration, to attempt to convey to them the direness of the situation for livestock producers across the state. Thank you. Now, I would like to report that FEMA has a program that will work, and we'll continue to work on that. But I want you to also know that we are preparing a disaster declaration for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and we will continue to work overtime to make sure we get resources. I talked to Director Budd about setting up what we call the EMAC system to see if we can bring additional resources from out of state to bear to help clear roads, clear paths, and make sure that we get access. And we will continue to work on that. We have not been slacking. I know one of the things that has been brought up, and I know how hard this is, one of the things that has been brought up is, can we get hay by aerial delivery somewhere to our livestock that are stranded? Pricing of hay is about $285 to $310 a ton. Costs about $14,000 for 2 hours flight. $14,000 for an hour of flight. Take about 2 hours to be able to deliver some hay. One of the challenges we had when that happened before is that the mice that are in the hay then went through the entire C-130 and caused a lot of maintenance. And I've told you about that yesterday. It's about 6,000, takes about 3 hours in a very dangerous mission for our UH-60s. We are carrying these things in mind, but we are trying to find ways that we can appropriately meet those needs. And I also want you to know that one of the things that I have looked for in the last several years has been a way that we can establish a fund that can help as an insurance type of backing for agricultural operations when they've been found and when they've had this kind of a circumstance that's happened to them. We don't want to do this, and just want you to understand, this is expensive. And as we look at our emergency resources, and I know many of you have been county commissioners, you know that we'll probably have floods this spring. We may well have wildfires as well. So parsoning these resources thoughtfully over the course of the year is one of the challenges that we have. But please, feel free to reach out to our office. We know this has been a very tough winter. I also want to say thank you for keeping in mind how important it is that we have Wyoming solutions for Wyoming problems. Just reported to the chamber across the way, and I've mentioned this early this year, the highest per capita GDP in the nation for any city is Washington, D.C. Now, we know we push back every day on what the federal government gives us. Federal government gives us regulations, laws, they overstep on a regular basis, and we'll continue to fight against that. But think about what else Washington, D.C. gives us. It's not just the federal government. In Washington, D.C., there are numbers of think tanks that develop model pieces of legislation, and they raise funding on that model pieces of legislation, a lot of funding, which is why that GDP per capita is more than twice that of New York City, the second city that has the high GDP. I know the temptation and the challenge of seeing those bills come across, and I know what that can mean. But I grew up in this state, and I love this state because Wyoming people focus on Wyoming solutions for Wyoming people. So thank you. So thank you very much again for your work. It was a very, very challenging session at first, with the leadership of your chamber, the fact that Wyoming people come together. We recognize family, community, and friendship over partisan divide. We are Wyoming. And I thank you for keeping that always in mind. And lastly, God bless you for your work. May God grace you with a safe travel home. And we really, speaking from the executive branch side, we look forward to working with you in the months and days ahead to make sure those Wyoming solutions for Wyoming people come to reality. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Governor Gordon, on behalf of the members of the House of Representatives, thank you for your closing remarks. Representative Nicholas and Northrop, please escort His Excellency, the Governor, from the House chamber. Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move the following. Number one, that the House of Representatives, 67th Wyoming State Legislature General Session adjourn until a time and date which are determined jointly by the Speaker of the House of Representatives and by the President of the Senate for the purpose of calling the House and Senate back into session. And number two, that if no such time is established before December 31st, 2023, the House of Representatives, 67th Wyoming State Legislature General Session is adjourning, sign and die, effective at 12 o'clock noon on the date and the legislative budget session, 67th Wyoming State Legislature shall convene on the 12th day of February 2024 at the hour of 10 o'clock a.m. Number three, that the House of Representatives specifically concur in any identical motion adopted by the Senate. And number four, that if the Senate fails to concur in the action of the House of Representatives under paragraphs 1 through 3 of this motion, by adopting an identical motion applicable to the Senate, the House of Representatives, 67th Wyoming State Legislature General Session is adjourned, sign and die.
You have heard the Majority Floor Leader's motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. By your vote, the motion has passed the House. We are now at that order of business of reading and approval of the journal. Representative Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, your journal committee reports that the journal of March 3rd, 2023 has been read, and I move that it be approved.
Representative Chestick.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
There being no objection, the report is adopted. Subject to the conditions set forth in the Majority Floor Leader Nyman's motion of the House of Representatives, 67th Wyoming State Legislature General Session is adjourned and shall again convene the legislative budget session on the 12th day of February 2024 at the hour of 10 o'clock. And right now, we are going to have the benediction by Art Washut. Please rise.
Members, we think now of our fellows who are not with us, who are ill at home or traveling home, and we ask the blessings of our good Lord to be upon them. And we conclude this session with a great Irish statement. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
Amen. The House is adjourned.